And let's talk about Wendy Williams. How you doing? It's been a minute since I was able to do that. But anyway, Wendy's back in the news. And speaking of conservatorships, while Brittany is luxuriating outside of hers, it looks like word on the street is Wendy Williams has lost all hopes of getting out of her conservatorship and is just going to focus on getting through the day. Which I think is kind of sad to kind of just be like, you know what, I give up. And I'm just going to focus on getting through the day. So, according to Rob Shutter over at Naughty But Nice, Wendy Williams is no longer expecting her conservatorship to end, and insiders say she's finally coming to terms with that reality. Sources tell Naughty But Nice the former talk show star has stopped fighting to regain full independence and is now accepting life inside an assisted living facility. Saying, quote, Wendy knows this isn't changing anytime soon, one insider says. She's no longer pushing back. She's accepting it. Despite earlier optimism from her legal team that she could be free by last year's end. And that's all I'm going to say. I remember they were talking about that she was going to be free last year. She still ain't free yet. We still out here hashtagging free Wendy, but she's still locked up. They won't let her out. Now, despite early optimism from a legal team that she could be free by last year's end, those close to her say the current situation is far more settled, saying, quote, that's not the reality. Behind the scenes, this is understood to be long term. Now 61, Wendy has not left the facility in quite some time, and insiders describe her condition as unpredictable, saying she's fragile. Some days she's sharp and engaged, other days she drifts. It's very inconsistent. So maybe there is some truth to the fact that, yeah, her mental capacity is messed up, and that's years of drug abuse and heavy drinking. And while she once described the facility as a prison, those around her say her perspective has shifted, saying there's a level of comfort. She has structure, support, and people taking care of her, and that matters. Her last public sighting highlights just how limited her world has become. She was briefly seen outside her father's funeral in February. That's one of the only times she's been out, they said, that the source went on to say. It tells you how much her life has narrowed. She's made peace with it. She understands this is her life now. For someone who once commanded every headline, it marks a stark that sobering new chapter, saying it's not the ending she imagined, but it's the reality she's living. So this is unfortunate to hear this, but I guess then again, Wendy Wendy was a mess. I mean, she never hid the fact that she was a mess because she always called herself a mess when she was on the talk show. And we like that messy side of Wendy. But then when that no good ass ex husband went and broke her spirit and she was out here drinking because he was cheating and having a whole affair with that broad for over a decade and then got her pregnant and had Wendy out here looking crazy. And we were like, oh, yeah, she finally broke the shackles from that relationship and she's going to show, like, I'm a strong woman. I'm, I'm going to show I can do bad by myself. I'm going to run the business. I'm going to do all the things. Then she started to crack. Then these crazier things started happening. Then it was like Wells Fargo seized her account or locked her account. Then she ended up in a conservatorship. Then they were talking about that her son was out here just, diligently spending up all her damn money. And she blamed him for her getting the conservatorship. So, excuse me, it's just been a lot going on her. And if this is the only thing, unfortunately, that is going to help her have some type of structure in her life, because I did worry that, okay, so once we release her from the conservatorship, then what happens? How, I mean, I said that they should put some things in place to protect Winnie, like a business advisor, someone who's going to handle her finances and all these other things, and make sure that people aren't going in and robbing her and taking advantage of her. Also, with her going into therapy to help with whatever issue she's got going on and her mental capacity, because they said she doesn't have frontal temporal dementia. Then they do a whole thing on that she doesn't have it. So clearly, there's got to be something going on for them to want to keep her in this facility. I know it might be easier to say that, oh, it's a money grab or they're taking advantage of her because she's a celebrity, blah, 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 that sort of thing. But I don't think that's what that is. So I'm thinking it got to be something more than that. But Shout out to you, Wendy. Who knows? Maybe you will be able to get out of this conservatorship. I hope you get out of this conservatorship. Or even if you do get out, that there is some things structurally put in place so that way you're not just getting all willy-nilly, getting back into drinking, because I don't think, as fragile as you are, you should even be jumping back into alcohol. I think if you get another sip of liquor and drinking the way you was drinking on that show that we saw on Lifetime, you you ain't long for this earth if you gonna do that. So I'll definitely keep abreast of this story as it develops. But yeah, that's the latest on Wendy Williams, courtesy of Rob Shutter. But I definitely want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story regarding the whole Wendy Williams conservatorship thing, where she basically is like, you know what, I'm giving up. I was thinking I was going to get out. I had all these, y'all got my hopes all set for the fact that I wasn't going to be in this conservatorship. But it looks like all hope is lost and I'm going to be stuck in this situation for the rest of my damn life. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.